On March 19, 2025, the European Commission, alongside High Representative Kaja Kallas, unveiled the Defence White Paper 2030. This ambitious plan seeks to bolster the European Union's defence capabilities. It aims to reduce the bloc's reliance on the United States for its security. The White Paper comes at a critical juncture for Europe. Russia's ongoing war in Ukraine has underscored the need for a stronger and more unified European defence posture. The White Paper 2030 is not merely a response to the immediate security challenges facing Europe. It is a forward-looking document that lays out a vision for a more autonomous and resilient European Union in the realm of defence. It acknowledges the changing geopolitical landscape and the need for Europe to take greater responsibility for its own security. The document is a testament to the growing realization among European leaders that the era of relying solely on the United States for protection is over. The White Paper 2030 sets out a series of concrete measures to achieve its ambitious goals. These include significantly increasing defence spending, fostering joint procurement of defence equipment, and deepening cooperation among EU member states in the area of defence. The European Commission has made it clear that it sees the White Paper 2030 as a catalyst for a fundamental shift in European defence policy. The success of the White Paper 2030 will depend on the political will of EU member states to translate its ambitious goals into concrete action. The coming years will be crucial in determining whether the European Union can truly become a geopolitical heavyweight with a defence posture to match. The stakes are high and the world is watching closely. Since 2021, EU member states have demonstrated a commitment to strengthening their defence capabilities. They have increased military spending by over 31%. By 2024, this spending reached a substantial €326 billion or $355 billion. This upward trend in defence expenditure reflects a growing awareness of the evolving security threats facing the continent. Despite this progress, the European Commission argues that current spending levels remain insufficient. The White Paper 2030 explicitly states that significantly more investment is needed to bridge existing capability gaps and achieve strategic autonomy. The document emphasizes that European nations must move beyond incremental increases in defense spending. The call for increased defense investment is not without its critics. Some argue that scarce resources would be better spent on addressing other pressing challenges such as climate change or social inequality. However, proponents of the White Paper 2030 maintain that a strong defense is not a luxury but a necessity in an increasingly uncertain world. The European Commission acknowledges the need for greater efficiency and coordination in defense spending. The White Paper 2030 calls for a move away from duplication and fragmentation towards greater pooling of resources and joint procurement. This, the Commission argues, will enable EU member states to maximize the return on their defense investments and develop the capabilities they need to face future challenges effectively. To achieve the ambitious goals outlined in the White Paper 2030, significant financial resources will be required. The European Commission has proposed mobilizing up to €800 billion, or $875 billion, through a combination of EU-guaranteed loans and relaxed fiscal rules. This substantial financial commitment underscores the seriousness with which the Commission views the need to strengthen European defence. A key element of the financing plan is the provision of up to €150 billion, or $163 billion, in EU-backed loans specifically earmarked for joint procurement of defence equipment. By providing favourable financing terms, the Commission aims to incentivise EU member states to prioritise collaborative defence projects. This approach is expected to boost the European defence industry and reduce reliance on foreign suppliers. The Commission's proposal to relax fiscal rules for defence spending has sparked debate among EU member states. Some countries argue that such a move could undermine fiscal discipline within the bloc. However, proponents of the proposal contend that the exceptional circumstances warrant a degree of flexibility. They argue that investing in defence is essential for safeguarding the EU's economic interests and values. The mobilization of substantial financial resources is a crucial step towards realizing the vision of a more capable and autonomous European Union in the field of defence. The success of these efforts will depend on the willingness of EU member states to make the necessary financial commitments and to work together effectively. The White Paper 2030 places a strong emphasis on joint procurement as a key driver for strengthening European defence capabilities. Recognizing that individual EU member states often lack the scale to develop and procure advanced defence systems independently, the document calls for a more collaborative approach. By pooling resources and coordinating procurement efforts, the Commission argues that EU member states can achieve significant cost savings, avoid duplication, and foster a more competitive European defence industry. In addition to promoting joint procurement among its member states, the White Paper 2030 also highlights the importance of strategic partnerships with like-minded countries. The document specifically mentions Norway, Switzerland and Ukraine as potential partners in defence cooperation. These partnerships are seen as a way to complement the EU's own capabilities and to build a broader network of security cooperation. The White Paper 2030 acknowledges the potential for cooperation with other partners, including the United Kingdom, despite its departure from the European Union. However, the document emphasizes that such cooperation would need to be based on shared values and strategic interests. The Commission has indicated that it is open to exploring the possibilities for a structured defence partnership with the UK, but that the details of such an arrangement remain to be determined. The emphasis on joint procurement and strategic partnerships reflects a clear understanding that European defence cannot be built in isolation. By working together with like-minded partners, the European Union aims to leverage its collective strengths and build a more secure and stable international environment. The White Paper 2030 identifies several key capability gaps that the European Union needs to address in order to enhance its defence posture. These gaps reflect the evolving nature of security threats, which increasingly include hybrid warfare, cyber attacks, and the proliferation of advanced technologies. The document calls for targeted investments in areas such as air and missile defence, military mobility, drones and counter-drone systems, artillery systems, ammunition and missiles. Recognizing the importance of technological superiority in modern warfare, the White Paper 2030 also emphasizes the need to invest in key enabling technologies. These include artificial intelligence, quantum technologies, electronic warfare capabilities, and secure communication networks. The document stresses the importance of fostering innovation within the European defence industry and of reducing dependence on foreign suppliers for critical technologies. The White Paper 2030 acknowledges that addressing these capability gaps will require a significant and sustained financial commitment from EU member states. However, the document argues that these investments are essential to ensure the credibility of European defence and to deter potential adversaries. The Commission has indicated its willingness to explore innovative financing mechanisms to support the development of critical capabilities. By addressing these capability gaps, the European Union aims to develop a more balanced and effective defence posture that is capable of responding to the full spectrum of contemporary and future security challenges. To Section 6, Establishing an EU-wide defence market. A key element of the White Paper 2030 is the call for the creation of a more integrated and efficient EU-wide defence market. The document recognizes that the current fragmented nature of the European defence market, characterized by national procurement procedures and a lack of interoperability between different national systems, undermines the EU's ability to develop and field the capabilities it needs. To address this challenge, the White Paper 2030 proposes a series of measures aimed at streamlining procurement procedures, promoting mutual recognition of certifications and permits, and facilitating cross-border collaboration within the European defence industry. The document suggests that the European Commission could play a more active role in coordinating procurement efforts and acting as a central purchasing body for certain types of defence equipment. The White Paper 2030 also highlights the important role of the European Defence Agency, or EDA, in fostering cooperation and integration within the European defence sector. The EDA is tasked with supporting EU member states in developing their defence capabilities, promoting collaborative research and development, and facilitating joint procurement. The White Paper 2030 proposes strengthening the EDA's mandate and providing it with the necessary resources to effectively carry out its mission. By creating a more integrated and efficient EU-wide defence market, the European Union aims to foster a more competitive and innovative European defence industry, reduce dependence on foreign suppliers, and maximise the return on its defence investments. Section 7. Timeline for action. The White Paper 2030 sets out a clear timeline for translating its ambitious goals into concrete action. The European Commission has indicated that it will present concrete options for joint defence projects to the European Council in June 2025. These projects are expected to be selected based on their strategic importance, their potential for cost savings through joint procurement, and their contribution to addressing the capability gaps identified in the White Paper. The Commission has also announced that a concrete timeline for pooling resources and launching joint arms purchases will be established in the coming months. This timeline is expected to set out specific milestones and deadlines for the implementation of key elements of the White Paper 2030. The Commission has stressed the need for a sense of urgency in implementing the plan, given the rapidly evolving security environment. The success of the White Paper 2030 will depend on the ability of EU member states to overcome historical divisions and to embrace a more collaborative approach to defence. The coming months and years will be crucial in determining whether the European Union can translate its ambitions into reality and become a more capable and autonomous security actor on the global stage. The White Paper 2030 is not a static document, but rather a roadmap for action that will need to be adapted and updated in light of evolving circumstances. The Commission has indicated that it will regularly review progress in implementing the plan and make adjustments as necessary. Section 8. The Geopolitical Imperative. The Defence. White Paper 2030 is driven by a clear recognition of the changing geopolitical landscape and the need for the European Union to adapt to this new reality. The document explicitly cites Russia's invasion of Ukraine and its increasingly assertive foreign policy as a key factor driving the need for a stronger European defence posture. The White Paper 2030 notes that Russia's military build-up, including its increased defence spending, projected to reach 9% of GDP by 2024, poses a significant long-term threat to European security. The White Paper 2030 also acknowledges the changing role of the United States in the transatlantic security equation. While reaffirming the importance of the transatlantic partnership, the document recognizes that the United States is increasingly focused on the Indo-Pacific region, and that Europe can no longer take American security guarantees for granted. This shift in American strategic priorities has added urgency to the EU's efforts to bolster its own defence capabilities. The White Paper 2030 has been met with a mixed reaction from international actors. Russia has condemned the plan, accusing the EU of warmongering and of escalating tensions. The United States, on the other hand, has welcomed the initiative, seeing it as a positive step towards greater European burden sharing within the NATO alliance. The White Paper 2030 is a clear signal that the European Union is no longer content to be a passive security consumer, but is determined to become a more active and assertive security provider. The document reflects a growing recognition among European leaders that the EU must be able to defend its interests and values in an increasingly uncertain world. Section 9. Looking towards the Indo-Pacific. While the Defence White Paper 2030 is primarily focused on strengthening European defence in the context of the evolving security situation in Europe's neighbourhood, the document also recognises the growing importance of the Indo-Pacific region. The White Paper 2030 suggests that the European Union should seek to deepen defence industrial cooperation with Indo-Pacific partners, particularly with Japan, which shares the EU's commitment to a rules-based international order. The White Paper 2030's focus on the Indo-Pacific reflects the region's growing economic and strategic importance, as well as the challenges posed by China's rise as a global power. The document suggests that the European Union can play a constructive role in promoting stability and security in the Indo-Pacific by strengthening its partnerships with like-minded countries in the region. The White Paper 2030's emphasis on cooperation with Indo-Pacific partners is also in line with the EU's broader strategy of becoming a more globally engaged actor. The document reflects a recognition that security challenges in the 21st century are increasingly interconnected and that the European Union cannot afford to focus solely on its immediate neighbourhood. The White Paper 2030's outreach to the Indo-Pacific is still in its early stages, and it remains to be seen how these partnerships will develop in the coming years. However, the document's focus on the region highlights the EU's growing awareness of the Indo-Pacific's strategic importance and its willingness to play a more active role in shaping the region's security architecture.